Another question I get asked is, how did I lose 300 pounds? So let me tell you. I lost the first 100 pounds on my own. I decided to try keto and just low carb in general. I started out, I still ate a ton of food, but I just didn't eat a lot of carbs, and the first 100 pounds sort of just melted off. I did work hard. I worked out at home. I started out at 490 pounds doing chair exercises. I would pull my chair up in front of the TV and go on YouTube, and I looked up chair exercises. And pretty soon I was doing half chair exercises, half exercises on the floor. And then eventually I didn't need the chair. I also started walking. So at first, at that size, it was really hard just to walk out to my mailbox, which I lived in the country, so it was a little far. But and before I knew it, I started walking. We had like this body of water where I lived in Florida, and all around it was like a paved path. So I think it was a mile around. So I started doing like part of it and then the full thing, and then eventually I would go around like 3 times and do a few miles. Um, but my weight loss sort of slowed down after 100 pounds, and I definitely wanted to lose more. I had signed up for weight loss surgery a few times in the past, and I just got too scared. I was so afraid of like dying during surgery, or I don't know, having bad complications, and so I never went through with it. But the final time, my son had just passed away not too long before then, and following that, my husband and I separated, and I didn't have any fear anymore. I figured, like, I've been through, knock on wood, everything that I could go through. And honestly, if I passed away, I thought, well, maybe that's what's meant to be. I just trusted that whatever, I know it sounds really morbid, but I just trusted that whatever was meant to be was going to be. And so I went ahead with the surgery. But I had decided to move to Maine. So it was taking forever for the surgery. I was like, forget it. I'm just going to go ahead and move to Maine. I stayed with a friend for a couple of weeks before I moved. And while I was at her house, I got forwarded a letter that said that I had been approved for weight loss surgery. Great. So I'm moving out of state, and finally, after all that work, I'm approved for weight loss surgery. Which, by the way, the process for weight loss surgery, I could probably make a whole nother video about that. It was quite a process, and it took quite a while. So I had already bought my tickets to Maine. I flew up to Maine and stayed a couple weeks until my first appointment in Florida. And I flew back down. I went to Gainesville. I saw Dr. Rose. He was amazing. Um, and ended up having my surgery. I recovered at a different friend's home. I ended up getting pretty sick and had to go back into the hospital for a little bit before I could fly back to Maine. And I flew back here. I'm in Maine now. And I kind of did everything on my own. I had no follow up, I had no doctor here. At least not a weight loss surgery doctor. Eventually, of course, I got my primary care physician, but I pretty much, followed my own program and did my own thing. I really focused on getting enough protein, getting in my water every day. Those are the two things that were the most important to me for as far as my diet. I took a lot of vitamins and supplements. Um, this was during COVID, or the beginning of COVID, so I couldn't even go to the gym. But I lived with my brother at the time, and I had the whole basement, which was huge. It was a living room, kitchen, a large open room, and then 2 bedrooms and a bathroom downstairs. So I had all that space. So I would put on workout videos again, and I would work out. I would go for walks, obviously alone during COVID, but I couldn't, go to the gym. So um, yeah, it's been a process. It's been a few years now, and in total, I've lost 300 pounds. And I'm still losing. It's coming off slowly now. I don't know what my goal weight is, or if I even have one. Um, but yeah, I'm keeping working with it. One of the biggest things I'm afraid of is gaining my weight back. I've seen so many people put in all the work to lose 100, 200 pounds and then not be diligent about it and end up gaining that weight back. So it's important to me to monitor. I weigh myself probably more often than I should. And then when I find that I've gained a couple of pounds, I pull out my app. I have an app on my phone called Berrytastic, I believe, that I've been using the whole time. But it calculates, you know, your whatever you want, your protein intake, the calories, the sugar. You kind of tell the app what you're focusing on and what your goal is, and just put in everything that you ate or drank that day, and it helps me to have it in front of me to look at it and be like, okay, you did good today, or not so great. Tomorrow you're gonna, skip this or that. And I know some people think that I'm, overly conscious of like what I eat, and but I feel like I have to be, because being 490 pounds was a prison, and it's not a prison that I ever want to return to. So, my health and my fitness level is always something that's a priority to me, along with my mental health as well. Um, so, yeah, I think that I've included everything. Just made a video on what it was like to weigh 490 pounds, if you want to check that out. And then my next video is going to be what my life is like after losing that amount of weight. So if you have any questions or video ideas, just let me know, and take care of you. Be well.